Hi, hello, how are you all this fine day? I hope that if you're here, you subscribe if you're not already, and you subscribe to my newsletter that is always linked down below, where you're always updated when I upload things to share that I would love you to see and do what you will with them. So, I wanted to touch on an idea that is so prominent in the realm of autism and discussing it, and that is finding a cure. And I have thoughts. I sure do. So, when the idea itself of a cure arises, it's coming from a place that is already toxic, and it's the mentality that there's something inherently wrong with you if you are autistic or neurodiverse in any way, and that you need to be fixed, or you should have the option to be more normal in the status quo. And it's immediate rejection of simply thinking differently and assuming that being neurotypical is the right way to be, which just because a majority of people are that way does not mean that there is some sort of hierarchy of how we're supposed to go about our lives and function. And while I understand the notion of it from the standpoint of being cured to make your life easier, just because life would frankly be a lot easier if I and other autistic people thought and lived the same way as the majority of others do, and could really immerse ourselves into the crowd with less frustration, fewer challenges. And if that's the case, again, I see a huge problem with that, because that means that our world is only made for one type of person, and there is an inherent need to be more accepting and to be more open-minded and allow people to exist as they were born to be. You know, trust me, it didn't come from a vaccine. And again, I think it's so backwards and it's so toxic that while, yeah, it's different, it's a challenge, but why do I have to fit your standards, and why must I sacrifice my own being to please the powers that be? So if you were to ask me, I think you probably know by now, but if you were to ask me if there was magically a cure and you could perhaps take a vaccine and it would cure you, no. And being autistic, while it's not healthy, I think, to hyper fixate on that, like I think I did when I first kind of learned that about myself, it's how I am. It's, in a way, it's the foundation in which all that I represent is built upon. So to take that foundation away, I don't know what would be left, and it would no longer be me. And whatever concept there is of me, self, all that jazz. Because it's how I live, it's how I think, it's how I find passion in the things I do, it's how I function in the situations that I do. And while it'd be a lot easier if I didn't have to worry about accommodations and I could work full-time and do a normal job, and it would make things simpler, but it loses the essence of what I think is my purpose for being here in this form. And as cheesy as it is, I think I am this way for a reason that is beyond my own understanding, and it's like any other challenge, I think, that people will face. Obviously, you can't make a hierarchy of this challenge is bigger than this challenge, but we all face our unique paths, however they may wander, and there's gonna be difficulties that no amount of money or preparation can help you with, and it's what makes you you. And you shouldn't be ashamed of that, and you shouldn't have to sacrifice your being and all that it is for you to feel like you are successful or that you are accepted and whatever else you might strive for. So with all that said, to perhaps put a neat bow on this, however you view this topic, I think is okay, as long as you're not only accepting people that are unlike you in whatever type of way, but you are learning from them. You're embracing them. You're not discriminating against them. You allow them to exist as they're meant to exist. And we need to keep working on it. And I also think that's why I'm here talking to you in this way, because this is a huge dichotomy that is so much larger than this. So I would love to hear your thoughts down below about this, and I would love to continue chatting with you about all these fun, challenging things. So with that, so many blessings to you this day, time, week, whatever, and I will see you next time.